I'm proud to. I got LA on me, so I'm representing LA. I'm blessed. That's good.
Hey everyone, it's LA Belita Love Slots. We're here at SoFi Stadium on Monday, February 26, 2024 for Rams Revealed Live. It is raining like crazy. It's amazing that we made it here on time. But I want to point out just how many Rams fans are here. Now, not just Rams fans, these are all season ticket holders. It's a season ticket holder exclusive event. They came out in the rain during rush hour for this event, which is going to take place in YouTube Theater.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rams Revealed Live. Please welcome the voice of the Rams, JB Long, and Super Bowl 56 champion, the 2021 Walter Payton Man Andrew Whitworth. Whose house?
Good evening, season ticket members, and welcome back to SoFi Stadium to Inglewood and here at YouTube Theater. I am JB Long. You know Andrew Whitworth, who helped start Rams Revealed way back in 2018. You weren't wearing this much jewelry the first time we met, though, Andrew.
You know, JB, I take a little bit of pride in the fact that since I became a Los Angeles Ram, the last time I checked, there's only one NFC West team that gets to wear one of these Super Bowl championship rings. And y'all know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Well, as you can probably already tell, we're here to do a couple of things tonight. Have a lot of fun and welcome you back to a new season, and also hopefully show you a side of these Rams that maybe you haven't seen yet.
Saying that 2023 was one of their favorite Rams seasons. Not necessarily most successful, obviously didn't end in a ring, but in terms of enjoyment from an organizational perspective, from a fan perspective, watching this team come alive week in, week out the way we finished, it was an amazing year of growth, and I think it's solidified, one of the things, and I know I speak for everyone in the organization, that bother us is this one-trick pony idea that we went all in and that's all we could do. And I think last year proved this organization now with Sean, 5 years in the playoffs instead of 7, lots of different ways we've done it. It's a complete organization, and that was the most rewarding thing for me overall.
Yeah. I love that. There's some other teams that kind of went all in and didn't work out for either. But, anyways, we won't talk about that. Bottom line is it has to work.
One of the things that's always been a trademark of Sean and Les is when there's an opportunity to do something different, when there's an opportunity to do something bold, they've done it. And I think when we got to the end of our cycle, maybe in 2022, we just didn't have the resources to be bold. But we sit here this year, I don't know that there maybe is one team or two that have more salary cap space ahead of us that made the playoffs last year. So I think when you start to look at where we're set up for this franchise with these young players, how do we go continue to build? But the goal is always going to be to compete deep in the playoffs and to be aggressive every week. And I remember when we got the schedule last May, looking and saying our final home game Thursday night in December, Amazon, you're like, that could be a really important game, or if we make it one. And that turned out to be a playoff game. That game, we were the 6th seed. Had the Saints won that, they would have been the 6th seed. We would have been out of the playoffs. Instead, we win that game, and they're in the playoffs. And I will give it to this group here. That was one of the best environments we've had at SoFi Stadium. For a regular season game. And you could feel the players and the energy in the stadium feed off of it. Maybe a little bit less in the fourth quarter when it started to go the way some of those games in December keep seeming to go. But, look, I think this team has earned its place in prime time and in the conversation, but it's not what they give you in May. It's what you earn in September, October, November, December, and then into January. And look, last year the schedule makers didn't see fit to give us Sunday night, so we went and earned one on our own at the end of the year.
That's right. You said it right there. The strong finish, including the win over the Saints in prime time on Thursday Night Football.
Head coach Sean McVay.
I guess I missed the memo on the swaggy hoodies and sport coat too, man.
Hey, you look good.
I'm
man.
underdressed.
Why don't you tell us about the boots?
Yeah.
What's understood doesn't need to be explained.
If you'll humor one retrospective question, just wonder what that year gone by, 2023, meant to you professionally and where you are in your career.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, sometimes when you go through a lot of good things, it takes getting broken down to be able to have a perspective and appreciation and realizing why you do this and what gives you real purpose. It's players like him, it's working with the coaches, and then you talk about what a youthful group we had with still some of the veteran leaders and guys that just stayed resilient. I think part of what made last year so rewarding, JB, and you know this, is we started off 3-6, and the guys just stayed steady. They stayed even keeled. And there was a real belief that after we came back from that bye, hey, we can win a lot of games if we just play better. We do some different things that are in alignment with playing complementary ball. And they go 7-1 down the stretch, and we had a chance to go win against Baltimore, but that was a big deal. But it was about the people. It always is, always has been, and just being reminded of this purpose, and it's for those coaches and players. And man, do I love coaching, and I love football, and I love you fans. Appreciate you.
Love that. Sean, you and I have had many a talk. We usually have a drink beside us when we're doing this, but about
Yes,
just
we do.
That's what the big tables are for.
That's right.
Where's the vodka soda?
Finding that professional balance, personal balance, everything we're always searching for in life and what we want to do. Also in this last year, besides the challenges you had professionally, personally, you and Veronica have your first child. Come on, little McVay in the world. What has really that done for you, not just professionally, but personally, kind of giving you that perspective? I mean, in what ways have you kind of learned from that? Just having your first kid, professionally going through a season you knew you had to be at your best.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and having Veronica, what an amazing wife, and then you get home and you realize, I was right. She does look good.
That's right.
But
when I first got to the Rams
she's
in
a hot mom.
2017, everybody, you had to do you discuss whether Veronica's really hotter than She's so beautiful.
I remember Kayvon Webster, we first get there, and a lot of guys, my wife hadn't really been around much, and she was my girlfriend at the time. And she came to our trip in London, and a couple of the players said, "Hey, that's your cousin?" I said, "You stay the hell away from my cousin." But no, I mean, having our little boy, anytime that you get caught up in some of the little things that maybe bothered you before, and you get home and you see this little guy smiling at you, and he's wide-eyed, and man, he's a happy guy, and he gets pissed quick, and I know he sure is my kid, man. But it is... what a purpose, what a perspective, and family's everything, and man, it's been really special. He just turned 4 months a couple days ago, and it's such a blessing. It really is. Well, I think there's a lot of good things that come from that, because I think what the great players do is they elevate everyone that they're around, and that's exactly what he did. He's a true igniter, similar to this guy on my left. And when you have those kinds of players, they make people around you better. They model the way, like we talked about a little bit earlier. And I remember when my grandfather was here, he was a part of 5 world championships with the 49ers. And I agree with that. But when John McVay was the GM, I wasn't here yet, so I rooted for them then. But now, boo their asses, damn right.
Yeah!
But here's what I will say that they did that I think we've started to try to mimic and emulate. I remember asking him, why do you think you guys were able to sustain a level of success for so long? He said, our best players were the best examples of what it looked like. They modeled the way, their work ethic, that just became the standard and the norm. That's why when you get Andrew Whitworth your first year in 2017 as the key and critical free agent signing, it's like a fine wine. The guy got better with age, but he modeled the way. Matthew Stafford's the same way. Puka, Nacua, Steve Avila, these guys that you're going to talk to tonight. So I think what it did is it showed that he's a guy that's going to be in Canton, deserves to be there. He's only, and if we can keep him healthy, I think he's got as many years as he wants left. And damn, I like coaching him.
Yes.
This draft coming into this, what is really, does that kind of go into these next couple months when you decide, hey, this is a draft where I want to move around a lot? Or is that something you kind of know year to year, like, hey, based off the roster spots we have, this is something where I'm thinking more of condensing and getting the highest picks values
I think you'll take that calculus formula, like you said, and all those variables come into play. I think over the next couple of months, we'll prepare to be able to act one way or the other. And then a lot of times the draft is very similar to game day because we are picking 19th. You never know who might fall to 13th. And do you want to take a deep shot, go for the dagger then, or you never know, you may get to 19 someone, and then next thing you know it's like 3rd and 11 and you need to move back and collect some picks. So you got to navigate, I call it the chaos of the draft.
You set me up for that when you said 3rd and 11. So I had a question for you. This is my question for the fans. I think as a fan, I'm a fan now, right? I'm not a player, so I'm one of the fans now. So as a fan, but also a former player, 3rd and 11, I'm in a big game, I'm facing, I don't know, whoever, somebody, Nick Bosa, you name it. Name a player, right? It's a big moment in the game. I go back to the intangibles, the fundamentals of what I've trained to be good at what I do. Like in my memory, I got to take a great set to start this down. That's what I'm going to fall back on in a pressure moment. When you get in these drafts, you've obviously taken the time to study all these different players, fall in love with them for different reasons, and you get in that moment, and there's a few there. What is it that you feel like is what you trust the most in that moment to go with the pick? Is it something you feel like intuition-wise off things you've seen, or is it more about a collaboration? Like people, like we saw in the video with you and Sean, everybody in there talking. What is really that in the moment? These are the things I'm going to trust the most when I go to make this decision.
I think in the moment, there's going to be an element of preparation, collaboration that may lead to intuition. But at the end of the day, you're going to probably try to walk through as a staff, as a group, each player that might be in and around where you're going to pick. And at that point, it might be, hey, how do you value the position? Does that break a tie? You mentioned something. I say all the time, one of the keys probably to being a reasonable drafter, if you're a GM and you're drafting, is to not fall in love with one player.
Yep.
But then just know that there is probably a good probability that when you go to pick, there's more than one player you could pick at that pick that could come in and help the Rams based on, right, there's 11 Rams on the field at one time. So at the end of the day, you're going to try to be reasonable, not fall in love, and then there's going to be value of position. Need could bleed in. We all know, though, if you really need something and you reach, I always say, uh-oh, you still have a need when you get out to training camp. And you're like, you know what, we reached, and we still have a need.
Yeah.
So.
Combine's coming up. You get to this time of year. Obviously, there's guys on this team that, we're talking about spending money, but some of that's on your own guys and people coming back that helped you this season. How much this time of year is it really just, starting to talk to your own guys' agents, starting to kind of say, hey, what does it look like on the market and those kind of things for the team, really internally and externally when you go there?
Yeah, really for us, myself, Cassandra Garcia, Matthew Sheeran, we kind of turn the page in about October, right? In October, you kind of know you get through the trade deadline, all right, we're looking ahead. And so you start planning for 2024. I'm looking at 2024, 2025, 2026 right now. And, decisions you make in 2024 will impact 2025 and 2026. Sometimes it's, not always thought of in the moment, but, we're always trying to look ahead and realize that, what we have ahead from our own roster. You talk to your scouts, you talk to your coaches, you start planning. I know that, we had a pretty good young receiver this year who I'm sure in a couple of years would like to be compensated like a pretty good young receiver. And so you start planning for things like that. And those guys have earned it, and deservedly so. I think you're going to hear from some of our young stars here in a little bit. And so I like to have,
Love it.
that.
Let's get ready for Puka.
No, we're always planning ahead, and I think it's, like I said, there's so many ways to get better that it's not just free agency we're looking at. You're looking at trades, you're talking through with Sean and Les, who may be available today, who may be available in 3 months, who you may have to pry out. So,
Charlie, you want a mic real quick before we go? Anything you'd like to add?
anything?
The lights.
Can I get up here?
Yeah. Go Rams.
Let's go.
Los corazones. Sí, señor.
¡Viva Mariachi Rams! Muchas gracias, amigos, amigas.
Mike, as you reflect back on the year that was, you've been around the league, around football. What separates, what distinguishes LA and Sean McVay's culture to you, having lived through it now?
That work doesn't have to be miserable. You can go in every single morning and know that you're going into an environment that is just made of the right stuff. And it starts with Les and Sean and what they've done here for the last 7 years, and how ownership has just backed these guys. And you can be yourself in that building. And so when the coaches feel that, the players feel that, and all of a sudden, it's just a really, really cool work environment, and by far the best that I've been part of.
That's awesome. Well, and you look forward to 2024. What are some of those things that you have to build off of and maybe even improve in to continue on that motion?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret, after that bye week, we played better. But the one thing about our guys, even before that, when we were 3-6, they stayed steady. And they kept coming to work, and they kept battling. And that bye week came at a great time because we got healthy after that. And there was so much continuity, with the emergence of Demarcus Robinson and Kyron coming back, and our O-line gelling, and Matthew playing some of the greatest ball he's ever played. It fit, and it was a really good stretch of eight weeks, and some good parts of the Detroit game. Next year's a whole new year. We know that this league's too dang good. And it starts from scratch every year. You go right back to your foundation. When these guys get back, and I'm in those meetings, and Sean's in those meetings, I want them to get bored in there. I want them to know what I'm about to say. That's fine, but we're going to start from scratch. We're going to build this thing because it's a whole new year, and we want to be the best.
I'd have to say, dang right, we also got to thank your brother, because I don't know what it is, but when we're on a 3-game losing streak, and we go to Green Bay, and we get our tails kicked, somehow we just start winning. I don't know why, but it just happens. Because in the year we won the Super Bowl, the same exact thing happened. We went 9-1 after that, won a Super Bowl, and then this past year, 7-1.
I don't lose the bat at home, and they're coming here next year.
There we go. Let's return the favor. Chris, for you, when you look at your defense, and I know this guy's coming up here pretty soon, what do you look forward to working with Bobby Brown and really feature him being in the center of this defense?
Yeah, looking forward to working with Bobby. Give it up for Bobby.
Come on, big dog. Give the big fella some love.
Big guy. You guys will see Bobby when he comes out here. He's gonna be about as big as this ram head right here behind me. But Bobby showed last year what his potential was, and we look forward to him taking the next step. We hired a great D-line coach to replace. Let's give it up for Eric Henderson. He did a great job. Awesome, one of my closest friends in coaching and in life. But we hired Giff Smith, and he's going to be on Bobby Brown, and can't wait to get those two working together and have Bobby take the next step. I think we can make him, as that nose guard, make him one of the better run defenders in the league. And he's going to be the centerpiece of our defense. He's going to be in the middle of it.
Our number 73, Steve Avila! And wide receiver, number 17, Puka! Nacua!
A lot of people here, man.
I just ended up.
Ladies and gentlemen, how much do you love these two in the 2023 rookie season they have? Puka, we were all looking forward to you having a little bit of a break after playing all 17 regular season games, plus that record-setting playoff game in Detroit, but I feel like you've been even busier since. Have you had a chance to unwind, and what's the most fun you've had since the season wrapped?
Playing Call of Duty on my PC. I got a brand new PC. I don't have a new gaming chair, but man, my new gaming setup has been the best. I got a new, the extra little mouse keypad. I've never had like a computer in my house or like growing up and stuff, so like, man, it is the best. Like to go, I watch a decent amount of YouTube and play video games now. So in the break,
I feel that. I love that. I don't think, sometimes I say this as an athlete, rookies, right? All of us there, have played your rookie year. It's probably the first time in your athletic career, if you think about like junior high, high school, in college, the off-season programs, the college, you've got to go to school, all these things. Then all of a sudden you get in the NFL, you play your rookie season, and the season ends, and it's like just throwing a bird out of a cage. You're like, all right, well, there's no more structure, and like, what do I do all day? Because no one's telling me to go to something, no one's telling me to do something, and I have all this free time, and I got a little money in my pocket. So, any big off-season plans?
Not really. I'm not gonna lie. It's funny you say that because like the next day after the game, like I felt like I retired.
Yes,
Like,
you have no idea what to do. You're like frozen.
Like I woke up. Usually, you like off days, and I'm like, what am I gonna do now?
It's a Tuesday every day for like 4 months. It's basically what it feels like.
But no, man. So I'm paying rent here, so I might as well stay in LA. But I'm from Texas. I will go home. But it's nice being here. The weather's nice. It's beautiful seeing everybody.
Puka, what about for you? Any big off-season travel plans? Anything?
I think he's done traveling. First off, man, he's been everywhere.
He's just dunking basketballs and.
See, yeah, that's the thing. I have yet to make it back to Utah. I've seen my mom already since the end of the season, but I haven't been back to Utah to see the snow. So I'll go back to visit BYU. I think see some basketball games. But other than that, I'm in Coop's driveway throwing up. Like after he's working out.
Give him a jersey. Throw him out there, man.
That's right. And then, what other members of your class, maybe we're not as familiar with yet, are you looking forward to having their moment in 2024?
Great question, JB.
I got you, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to into the next year. I mean, the big thing, we drafted 14 guys, and I feel like every one of those guys, not everybody got to play, but I know that they'll be ready for next year. And, for this upcoming rookie class, I feel like I got to do my part. I'm sure he feels the same as, bringing those guys in and, getting them ready to play, so. I don't think you heard the question.
I think
it's hard to hear him here. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to hear him. It's okay. It's okay.
I was brainstorming.
Right? It's okay, everybody.
Don't brainstorm too much. Okay.
Young Davis Allen. That's my guy. I'm excited to see young Davis. I think obviously just like kind of with Big Wit's question of some of the vets. Although I don't play tight end, Tyler Higbee, a huge mentor to me and somebody who's not in my position group who went out of his way to always send a helping hand to me and allow me to ask any of the questions, especially in some of the run game stuff. So I'm excited for Davis Allen, but I led the league in drops. I just remember that, and that's something I never want to have associated with my name again. So as a receiver, that's like the worst thing that could be associated with your name is leading the league in drops.
I love this jacket, but that one didn't make the cut, right? There's no patch for that, even though you got some great records on there. Tell us the story behind the jacket. How'd this come to be?
So the legend of Jeff Hamilton I am just becoming aware of, but a legend he is, 100%, thank you. So I got this brand new cool jacket from Mr. Hamilton, and it's got some,
Show him the proud. I got LA on me, so I'm representing LA, I'm blessed. That's it.
Steve, I think Puka kind of shared his, talking about the drops, and obviously I think there's other things probably, but that you'd share. But for you, like when you look forward to next year, you had this great rookie season, you played a lot of football, you played really well, you had a great year, but going into year two, somebody who did start a lot of games as a rookie as well at left tackle, now next year, you go into that, you're the hunted, right? Because as a rookie, you train, hey, every week you're going in and it's a new battle, and I'm going to figure out how this guy plays and how I'm successful. The next year, they're spending the whole entire year saying, this is how this guy plays and how do I beat him? What are some of the things that you think about when you think about that you're looking forward to trying to improve in your game and having that build up into year two so you can repeat again the same thing you just did?
Yeah, to start off, I feel like the biggest transition from college to the NFL was just technique. And although it wasn't the best when I first got here, every single week that I was here, it continued to improve. Whether that's going against AD, who definitely, that's a different story.
That's a living feedback machine. Every mistake you make, he's coming right at you.
And he doesn't even say anything either. He just whoops you, and it just like you learn something from it. I felt like I've learned stuff every single game, especially going against great opponents. That's the best part about being in the NFL. But next year I'm just focusing on bettering my technique. I told myself that I didn't want to be a rookie going into this past year, and the next step is how can I be, play like a veteran.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I love that.
special thanks to the Rams organization for having Rams Revealed live tonight here at YouTube Theater next to SoFi Stadium. It was a great opportunity to be here with other season ticket members in the off season. Great to see Puka and Steve and Les and Sean and all of those guys who make such a big impact on our favorite team. So appreciate the invitation, appreciate being season ticket members, and we look forward to the next event and bringing you along with us. Thanks for watching. Ella Belita loves slots.